How did I get here? Not here as in this hallway. Here as in this thing. Trapped, cold, empty, but still aware. They call us zombies, like we're gone, like there's nothing left inside. But I remember everything. The kids' faces, the bite, the blood. The moment I knew I'd never get to say goodbye. I was their teacher. And now, I'm just trying not to hurt them. Thoughts of a Zombie. Title: The Teacher Who Never Got to Say Goodbye, Part 1, Before. How did it happen? Right there in front of the whiteboard. The alphabet banner still hung above me, the kind with the cartoon animals. O was for alligator. Z was for zebra. The lights flickered once, but I thought nothing of it. That's what old schools do. I was teaching compound words to my third graders. I even remember the exact one we ended on, sunlight. Then came the lockdown alert. Not a drill, not a test. A voice crackled over the intercom. All staff, initiate immediate lockdown procedures. This is not a drill. I felt my throat go dry. Some of the kids thought it was a joke. Jamal laughed and asked if it was a zombie apocalypse. I gave him a half smile and told him to sit down. My hands were already locking the door. That's when we heard the screaming, not from the hallway, inside the building. A scream that didn't rise and fall like a normal one. This was endless, ragged, wet. I told the kids to get in the reading corner and stay quiet. I closed the blinds, turned off the lights, grabbed the emergency bat from behind the filing cabinet. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew it wasn't safe. Then came the pounding, right outside my door. 3 loud thuds, then a pause, then a body hitting glass. I peeked through the sliver in the blinds. It was Mr. Downing, the janitor. Only he didn't look right. His eyes were bloodshot, skin pale. His mouth moved like he was chewing something, but nothing was there. His face slammed into the window again, and this time the glass cracked. A line of red smeared where his forehead hit it. I gasped, my students whimpered. One started to cry. I whispered for them to stay quiet. Then came a bang from the emergency exit across the hallway. Another teacher ran past, Miss Cora. Her arm was torn open, blood everywhere. She didn't make it far. He tackled her. Right there outside my classroom. I watched him bite her. Like an animal, she screamed once, then nothing. I stepped away from the window, holding the bat so tight my knuckles turned white. I thought about my students, their parents, their futures. I knew I had to do something. I opened the classroom closet, told them to get in, all of them. There were 12 that day. 12 kids I told everything would be okay. I closed the closet door, whispered for them not to make a sound. Then I turned back to the main door and waited. I didn't have to wait long. The lock gave out before the glass did. He burst in, covered in blood. I swung the bat, hit him square in the jaw. He didn't flinch. He grabbed me, slammed me into the teacher's desk. My back cracked something sharp. Then came the bite, right on my shoulder. Deep. It felt like lightning shot through me. I screamed, and not just in pain. In fear. I knew what this was. It wasn't a fight. It was a death sentence. But I didn't black out. I didn't pass out. I laid there as he moved on, toward the closet, toward the kids. I found strength I didn't know I had. Pulled myself up. Grabbed the bat, I charged. One last swing. Cracked his skull. He dropped. Twitching, but not moving. I fell right after him, my vision blurred. Everything slowed. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. The kids opened the closet door. One of them, Isabella, ran over to me. I told her not to. I begged her to stay away. I think she was crying. I couldn't see anymore. My eyes were already fading. I told her to lock the door, to be brave, to wait for help. Then darkness, but I was still there. Still aware, and I knew this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Part 2. During They Say When You Die, Everything Stops. But that's a lie. I didn't stop. I slowed. I sank. My body went still, but my mind just drifted, like it was underwater and the surface was too far to reach. The classroom faded first. The bulletin board, the class calendar, the crayon smell. All of it vanished into a gray fog, but I still felt the bite. The pain had long gone, but the memory of it throbbed like a warning bell. And then I stood up. Not because I wanted to, because something inside me pulled me up. My body jerked, slow and stiff, like I'd just learned how to walk again. My arms hung heavy at my sides, my neck tilted forward. My legs moved with no purpose, just dragging forward inch by inch out of the room. I couldn't feel the floor, but I could hear the echo of my own footsteps. Shuffling down the hallway where I used to walk every morning, greeting sleepy-eyed kids and sipping my terrible staff lounge coffee. Now I was nothing but noise and breath and the distant ache of hunger. I passed classroom doors, some locked, some open and empty. I saw drawings on the walls, scribbled sunshine, stick figure families, little hearts in red marker. I remembered the kids' names. I whispered them in my mind like a prayer. Jamal Isabella, Aiden Kenzie. Were they safe? Did someone get to them in time? I couldn't speak. My mouth hung open like it had forgotten what lips were for. But inside, I was screaming, begging, pleading with whatever force controlled me to stop. And yet I kept moving. The halls grew darker. Blood smeared across the tiled floor. The lockers dented and bent. There were bodies. Teachers, students, I couldn't tell who. I wouldn't look long enough to know. Every step dragged me deeper into the school, deeper into the nightmare. I stopped in front of the library. The double doors were open. I could smell something inside, warm, alive. A student, no, please. He was hiding behind a book cart. I could hear his breath, shaky sharp. He couldn't have been more than 10. I wanted to run. I wanted to throw myself down and scream. But my body moved forward. My fingers twitched, my jaw opened wider. Don't do this. I screamed those words in my head, louder than I ever yelled in my real life. But my feet creaked across the linoleum. My body lurched forward like it was magnetized to his heartbeat. And then he looked at me. Brown eyes, tears, fear. He held up a thick hardcover like a shield, a book I probably told him to check out once. And that was the moment, right there, when something inside me snapped. I didn't lunge, I didn't grab. I just stopped, one step from him, breathing hard, twitching, shaking. But still, I think, maybe a part of me broke through. Just enough, he ran. I let him. I turned and slammed my fists against the wall, over and over. Not in rage, in grief. I don't know how long I stayed there. Eventually, more of them came. Others like me. We didn't speak. Didn't need to. They walked past me, not even looking. And I followed, not because I wanted to, because I couldn't do anything else. But in that moment, I knew one thing for sure. I was still here. Some part of me, the teacher, the woman, the protector, was still buried under all the rot and hunger. And I wasn't going to forget who I was, even if no one else ever remembered. Part 3, after it ended the same way it began. In a hallway, fluorescent lights buzzing, that faint scent of glue and old books still lingering in the air. I don't remember how many days I wandered the school. I don't know if it was hours or weeks. Time didn't work the same anymore. I just walked, past the library, past the principal's office, past that mural the kids made last year with painted handprints. I walked and remembered every classroom I taught in, every child I hugged. Every note left on my desk that said, "You're the best teacher ever," in bubble letters. That was all I had left, the memories. Everything else, the pain, the hunger, the pull to devour, was a constant current dragging me deeper into something I didn't want to be. I fought it, every step, every time I smelled blood, every time I heard a child. I fought, but my body didn't listen. Then came the end. I was moving through the cafeteria, stepping over trays and broken chairs, when I saw a flashlight cutting through the dark. Footsteps. Careful ones, small ones. Then a voice, "Ms. R." It froze me in place. That voice. I knew that voice. Isabella, she survived. She was older now. Maybe a few weeks. Maybe just aged by fear. But she was standing there, holding a baseball bat wrapped in duct tape, hands shaking. And she recognized me. "Ms. R," she whispered again, tears filling her eyes. Are you still in there?" And for one impossible second, I was. My body didn't move, my hands didn't reach. I just stood there, looking at her, and something behind my dead eyes lit up. She stepped closer. I wanted to scream, "No, don't," but I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I could only beg in silence. She stopped a foot away. Her hands clenched the bat tight. Her knees shook. And then with a breath, she swung. The bat cracked across my skull. I didn't fall. She swung again. And again. Tears streaking down her face as she screamed, "I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry!" The third hit broke something loose. Not bone. Me. I dropped to my knees. One more swing. The bat came down hard. The world exploded in white. And just like that, I was free. No more noise, no more hunger, no more walking through the shell of my life. Just stillness and then a memory. I was standing in my classroom again. Everything perfect, everything bright. The kids were at their desks laughing, drawing Isabella was reading out loud. Jamal was trying to sneak snacks again. I was there, I was whole. I looked around and saw myself, alive, writing on the whiteboard. Smiling, I wanted to stay, to live in this one last perfect moment, to be the teacher again, the protector, the woman who made sure every kid felt safe. And maybe that's what this place was, a final goodbye, a thank you from whatever's left after death. I turned to the door. It was open. Sunlight poured in through it, warm and golden. And on the wall beside it, that word from before still hung. Sunlight. I stepped into it. And everything I carried, the fear, the guilt, the shame of what I'd become, fell away like dust. I wasn't a monster. I wasn't the enemy. I was just a woman trying to save her students. And in the end, one of them saved me. I wasn't supposed to survive. But I wasn't supposed to become that either. I wanted to protect them. And in the end, they protected me. She didn't just end the monster. She set me free. Maybe no one will remember my name. But she will. And that's enough. This is Whispers Between Worlds we upload daily.